Welcome to Delaware State University, everyone. Home of the Hornets.
Welcome to Alumni Stadium here at Delaware State University. Right here you can catch a lot of your football games, you can catch a lot of your lacrosse games, soccer games, even track meets. And also in the springtime and also the fall time, you can catch a lot of intramural football being played here. Or they have powder puff too for the ladies as well. Right here is Alumni Stadium. It's called Alumni for a reason. It's a lot of history behind this field. And definitely, you come on this field, you definitely gonna feel warm. Keep singing.
And across the street, we have the mall. And there's a shuttle across the street from the mall now that will take you to the mall. Now, because of COVID, a lot of stores have closed, so it's not the mall that it used to be. Here you got the concession stand. During games, they have all kinds of fish fries and people selling fried chicken, you name it, they got it. Funnel cake. Yeah, they tailgate hard too during homecoming, y'all.
And then right here on Delaware State University, we have Memorial Hall. You can find all sporting events here. You also can find the pro base here as well in the spring. You can also find your spring flings in here. My spring fling was crazy. You know, I saw Young Thug, Little Uzi, Tory Lanez, and then even homecoming when we had Meek Mill laying the chopper on Alumni Stadium field where we were as well. Right here you have Delaware's own Kendall Gray that played for Delaware State University. He just got inducted to the Hall of Fame. Right here in this gym, you can find literally everything you want to be at, and I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. Alright, so right here is the athletic department where you can find all your athletics at. You're talking about football, basketball, equestrian. You're talking about women's lacrosse as well, bowling. We have it all here. So right here is definitely where all your coaches will be, the athletic director will be, and just everything in general you see. Over here, we had the NEAC, all conference certificates and awards right here. So maybe someday, if you get to this position, you can be a Miles Carter, or you can be a Trey Page, and so forth and so on.
And Del State is D1.
D1, yeah. Welcome to the Wellness Rec. Right here, a lot of students can also find a couple of their classes here when it comes to wellness and fitness. Up here, you can find the weight room. That's what a weight room is for a lot of people work on. Right here as well, on the court, you can find a lot of your 5-on-5 intramural games. Also, you know, when homecoming comes around, the spring fling, this is where you come through actually to walk through Memorial Hall, the gym, so you can get in for the concert. Right here is a lot of activity. It's some fun here. My little brother actually won an intramural championship in here. You could be next. All right, now here we're at the courts. Now I know the courts are like, okay, this is where we play pickup basketball at. But no, wrong idea. We're at the HBCU. You see those seats right over there? Packed full of people every time. You see this right here with the grass? It's normally a DJ here. There are certain days if it's a good day out like today. Homecoming, you can always find different events going on this court, whether they got Pi the fraternity or sorority, where they have, you know, this is what we want to do for our campaign coming up this year. And also you can find a lot of vendors. You can find a lot of students selling clothes, food. You can also find them selling, you know, hair products as well. Right here, the courts, this is where the community of the university really evolves in itself. You're gonna want to know the circle. So the circle right here, this is where a lot of activity takes place on campus as well. This is where a lot of the community, right here with this circle, with the MLK and the court all combined with each other. Right here, you'll see the MLK right down here. And you'll see the courts also right over here to my right as well. And then we have the circle. All of this comes complete with itself. The circle is definitely a place where you want to get out your brands with vendor shit or even your campaign shit. This right here is a big part of campus, so don't you forget that either.
Hi everyone, I just want to show you the walking campus. Before we do, just pay homage to Dr. Jerome Holland. He was president at both Hampton and Del State. So I guess the connection is kind of amazing because I have a bachelor's degree from Hampton and a master's degree from Del State. So he was Hampton's 9th president and Dell State's 6th president. He was the first black man to play at Cornell University's football team, and he sat on the board for the New York Stock Exchange and on the board for MIT. And so now I'm just showing you the walking campus.
All right, so right here we're in the admin building. Now the admin building is definitely a place you want to know to get used to this whole background. Right here you have the information services, just in case you don't know where to go. Over here you have the registrar, you have financial aid here. You also have a marketplace as well if you want to stop between classes and get you some Starbucks, get you a donut, or even just get you any snacks and in general fill you up.
Hi.
As well down here you can find student accounts, and that is just a lot of the gist of the whole admin building. It's for you.
Hey everyone, this is the Claiborne D. Smith building. He is still with us and making major changes, shaking things both in Dover and in Wilmington. He is, or was, chairman of the board. He was on the board for quite a while. He's known well in the finance industry.
All right, so right here we're at the John R. Price building. Me personally, this is one of my favorite buildings on campus because I graduated basically through this building, whether taking anatomy, biomechanics, exercise leadership, exercise physiology. And as you can see right here too, this is for the kinesiology and public health students. So you can find a lot of your nursing in here, physical therapy in here, athletic training in here, occupational therapy, strength and conditioning coaching. The broad of the scope of kinesiology is so big, but definitely the nursing program is really what holds this building up to me personally. That wasn't my specialty in my degree, but I know especially this is where the nursing department is, and this is where you can find a lot of your health benefits at. So right now we're at Toughness Hall. Now right here, this is where a lot of undergraduates, like freshmen or even sophomores, come and live. Sometimes juniors as well if you love the room. Now this right here is the newest housing building on campus as of, I believe, 2019, after I graduated. In this building, you can also find certain rooms and lounges that have pool in them. Also, you can find Dunkin' Donuts in here, and you can use your meal card and meal plan to buy Dunkin' Donuts as well. This building right here, if you're a freshman, I would say I would love to apply for. Right here, we have the Village Cafe. So the Village Cafe is only open during breakfast and lunch. And you can definitely find it opening up around 6 o'clock. Definitely it's open up at 6 o'clock for sure for researchers and also for athletes as well. Down here, you see the Ville. Now you might think, okay, this is the Ville where everybody lives. This is where everybody lives, so this is where everybody eats. No, underclassmen can eat here too. As long as you have a meal card and a meal plan, you can definitely swipe as many times as you want in the Village Cafe. It's not only for the Ville, but just connected to the Ville. All right, so right here, we're in the Ville right now, where it's 3 buildings. You have building 3 right here, you have building 2 right here. And then as well, looking around, there goes building 1 right here. So the Ville, definitely where upperclassmen normally are. Right here, this is a spot you would want to choose to go to, because this is where, me personally, where I stayed at myself, and I loved it here. I had 1 roommate, had 1 bathroom as well, but we had 2 different rooms, and a living room and a kitchen. So just think about the opportunity that comes forth once you become an upperclassman and earn those credits to stay here. So right now we're inside the Ville. So the Ville is 3 buildings, but they all look the same like this when you walk in. And then they also always have an elevator too as soon as you walk in. So the Ville is for upperclassmen. So we're talking about, it depends on credits. You have to have 30 credits or higher just to stay in the Ville. So you can be a sophomore with 30 credits, you can be a junior, which you should have more than 30 credits, and a senior as well. Then you can find a lot of upperclassmen at. So in the room, even though we're able to get 1 right now, you can definitely get about 2 bathrooms in it with 4 people, or 1 bathroom in it with 2 people. But you can get 2 bathrooms in with 2 people, or you can get 1 of 1, which is 1 bed and 1 bathroom. Normally in here, you can definitely find a lot of events But you know, this is a dry campus as well. So when you're on here, please be safe, please monitor what you're doing and where you're at. And definitely, this is the Ville, this is where you want to be. Now we're in Warren Franklin. Warren Franklin is where a lot of the undergraduate athletes are. It's also where a lot of the undergrads are in general. So if you come in here with me, I used to kind of stay in a room just like this, right here. So normally you always have a roommate in here as well. You have a great window, you have 2 desks. And also, you can switch this any kind of way you want to. As long as you know you guys have some space and some availability. And then you also have your closets right there. Yep. And while we're in it, we can keep on rolling too out here. Got a shower in here that you share. Have a mirror over here as well, which is sharing space with your roommates. And I feel like the best part of this whole thing, with the rooms, with the bathrooms, the living room area space is sometimes top notch when you need to study or get away. And they definitely upgraded from when I was here on campus because they got a charging station right here. So right here, we're in the Oscar building. Now right here is where a lot of biomedical research is done at, and also research done in general. I know we work with NASA in here, and this is where a lot of the creative ideas that you might have want to come into fruition right here. So if you look up, it looks so beautiful in here. And this is the newest building on the campus as we speak. This was here and made in 2019. Right here, we're in the EH building. So the EH stands for Education and Humanities building. Now right here, this is where you can find a lot of your English majors at or your education majors as well. Me personally, I had a few educational classes here, especially with English. Whether you have English composition or whether you have speech. Up here, you can find all of your classes at. And downstairs is where you can find the lobby area where a lot of students want to come, you know, just relax and get themselves right before any exams or just in general between classes. So now we're in the library. So right here is where you can find a lot of your studies at. There are 5 floors on the library. Each floor has a study room, and each floor also has a study conference room as well. The study rooms is for 1 person. The conference room, you can get it for about 5, 6, 7. It comes with a white chalkboard. Here, you'll find a lot of your books in here that you may need for class. Also, up this stairs right here, coming in just about a second. The second floor is where all athletes go when they do their studies, when they have to clock in for hours and everything for study hall. Then once upon that, you want to take the elevator around the corner, and that will get you to all 5 floors. Right here, same place that's connected to the library, you have the art gallery. So oftentimes you can definitely find a lot of your art students in here. This right here is a lot of displays in the art gallery that are made by a lot of students and also past alumni as well. If you get close to the camera, you can actually see some art in here by students. It's beautiful in there. A lot of events are held in there around homecoming, around spring fling as well. Certain times there's some brunches in there, and oftentimes you can also find a little snacking with the president here as well. You just never know.
Okay, everybody, this is the president's house, at least what used to be the president's house. I'm thinking that Tony Allen is not living, Dr. Tony Allen is not living here because it is now the Alumni House. The Alumni House used to be off campus, and it was an empty house, and you could use it for meetings. I have been to many a good dance there. So now I guess they had done construction back there, and the Alumni House is no longer there. So they must have turned the President House into the Alumni House.
All right, right here behind me is Delaware Hall. This is another residence hall that it used to be classroom settings in here, but now they have turned it into underclassmen dormitorium as well. Right here is the middle part of the campus, and this is not a bad spot at all to live at.
So just to piggyback, this is during my tenure and when my mom worked on campus. So she started in 1975. This is where the president used to be. So all of admin, this is the old admin building.
All right, so right here is a freshman dormitory, Medgar Evers. Now right here is definitely where freshmen stay at, and this is also a place where you also get a meal plan if you stay here. Now how this building works is, it's a co-ed dorm, one floor is girls, one floor is guys, one floor is girls. However, since I said co-ed dorm, you have to share the same bathroom, the same community as well. Also, you also have a roommate in here too, in one room. So right here, this is definitely a place where I kind of stayed at, even though I stayed at Jenkins, but this is definitely a freshman spot right across from this block. So right here is another freshman dormitory, Meta V. Jenkins. Now Jenkins is also a co-ed dorm, but it's mostly women's dorm. So I actually stayed up here, 3rd floor, 351 to be exact. I remember where I stayed at. And this is definitely, in my personal opinion, one of the better dormitories for a freshman. So I'll also give you my advice too, since this is, you know, your personal view of the Conservatorium Delaware State University campus. Jenkins is more so the, I want to study freshman dorms and relax. Where Eggers is, I want to be a social butterfly. So basically, you can choose between the two if you want to, and hopefully you get whatever option you want, but still, you can always mix and mingle between these two freshman dorms. But this is me, the Jenkins. All right, now we're at Conrad Dining. Now, this is on the opposite side of Delaware State University. That's close to the freshman dormitories and also the sophomore dormitories as well. Conrad, they're open during lunch and they're open during dinner time as well. And here, as you can see, it is a lot of space, and it has definitely changed tremendously since I've been here. Conrad, to me personally, is one of the best spots I love to eat on campus. Point blank, period.
Okay, y'all, God showed us favor, so we got into the dining hall. We do not own the rights to this music.
now we're at the plots. This plot right here is New Island. I had to get that out of my chest first. But right here, this plot and then all the other plots right here, homecoming, when homecoming comes around the spring fling, you'll find a lot of your alumni out here. You'll find a lot of students out here. You'll find a lot of the Greeks also out here cooking and grilling and celebrating just the chapter in general on Delaware State University's campus. Personally, being on the plots is a great event when you're underclassmen, just so you can see what you're interested in as far as if you are interested in joining an organization. Me personally, I know that all of these plots are cool on homecoming, but the best one is the one right behind us on camera right now, New Island itself.
Can you guess why, everybody? Sorry, Omegas, I didn't want to shortchange you.
Right now we're in the Bank of America building, which is actually called the College of Business building. Right here you can see this big old lecture hall. Now this lecture hall right here, I do know personally a lot of students who have came through here and had nothing but lectures or events in here through the College of Business. Delaware State University really prides themselves on the College of Business right here in the Bank of America. Also in here you can definitely find certain events for homecoming as well, such as, you know, wildin' out shows or like wildin' out fake parties, or you can actually find out, you know, little things about organizations as well where they meet up. All right, so right now we're on the 3rd floor of the BOA building, Bank of America, if you haven't got it yet, or College of Business. Right here is basically a cubicle where you can find one hall or 2 halls to find which class you're going to. As well, you have the 2nd floor, that's the same layout, the same setup. And then you have all the way to the bottom floor where the big conference room was that we talked about earlier. Right here is so many classes that you can have in here. You can have business classes, you can have math classes, you can also have a couple English classes here, or just any class with any electives as well. This BOA building is so big that you can really put a lot into it. And it's a nice design, a nice layout to want to be in. This spot also has a great MBA, Master of Business Administration program as well. Most times you can try to get it in 1 year, maximum 2 years. So think about it, if you graduate here from Delaware State University and then you apply for grad school under the College of Business, you only have 1 more year just to get your master's degree. By the time you're about 24, 25, even so on, this is a great opportunity for a young, educated mind like yourself. All right, now we're in the Science Center. As you can see, it's a big lecture hall. A lot of times when you take science classes, it's normally going to be this big lecture hall, whether it is biology, whether it is anatomy and physiology, chemistry as well, or physics. This is where you can find a lot, or all of your science classes based at. And yeah, they definitely upgraded since I've been here, but look at all this space in here, and look at the TV. Sometimes the TV up here, this is what your professors will use to control the room, to control everything, and it basically show you the PowerPoint. This 4 TV set is actually one big TV set. So just think about all the space and all the opportunity you have in here to learn in the Science Center. All right, right here in the building that we're in the Mass Comm building. So right here is the Mass Communications to be exact. So right here is where you can find a lot of your classes as well with Mass Comm. I know there's also a TV radio station in here. There's a lot of great people who walk through here. We could talk about Jamela, who works for BT. We could talk about Morgan Ashley Poe right here, who works for Detroit Weather. Or we could talk about his name, AKA Kid Meech, who's from New York, who's blowing up right now as a sensation with a lot of artists in the industry. Right here in this building, WDSU. This right here is where you can find a lot of your Mass Comm objectives too that you want to fulfill in life. And also, WDSU radio is definitely something you want to be on if you have a brand or you want to push out any business or campaign ideas. Remember, think bigger here. Right here, we're in the lecture hall as well, in the EH building. Right here, you can find some music classes around here if you're into music. Or most oftentimes, just because it's a lecture hall, you can also find some English classes in here as well, believe it or not. Right here is definitely a room that I've been in, had class in, and it's definitely an opportunity to give you a lot of space to also ask a lot of questions in here.
So I got my master's degree from Delaware State, and this building is where all of my master's degree classes were. Hey everybody, this is a bust of Luna Mashu. He was the 7th president here at Delaware State University. When we moved to Dover, and so you all know that I'm 54 years old, but when I moved to Dover, he was president. My mother was an employee here, and we were on campus all the time. You could always see him about and on campus. He was definitely someone for the students, and all of his kids and grandchildren are active in the community. Hi everyone, I was remiss. I forgot to introduce our host. His name is Cameron Corbett. He is my second son, my only son's best friend. And when I say best friend, I mean it's like he's a brother from another mother. My connection to Del State is that my mother got her only job that I've ever known her to have here at Delaware State University. My sister was a baby and she went back to work, and she was a stay-at-home mom with me. That's why I'm so wonderful. But my sister, like I told you, went to the lab school. My mom worked in the John R. Price building. She was an administrative assistant. When the first master's degree program came out, she was in that first graduating class. My sister is a graduate of Del State. She got her bachelor's and her master's here. I have a master's here. When my mom got a job here, it was just overflowing with opportunities, especially during the summer. During the summer, we took swimming classes, we took typing. In the EH building, I saw Ray Charles for $3. I saw B.B. King for $5. This is definitely was a cultural hub. All kinds of plays and concerts, you name it, it was here. But when my mom came, her boss, his name is Dr. Ulysses S. Washington Jr. And he was a staple on campus, to the point where he was head of the agriculture department, and this is the building that is named after him. If you follow me, you will see what appears to be a little hut. This little hut was Uncle Wash's house, and everybody knew that this is where he lived. He has and if you look at the door, you'll see a wreath and the agricultural building, because he built up the agricultural department here. He left us at 98. His son and daughter are very successful. Daughter lives in Pittsburgh, and son is Yuki Washington. And if you live in this area, you will probably be familiar with him on Channel 3 News. He's a Channel 3 anchor. I got caught up because you saw the man cutting the grass, which is why I'm in the car. I'm allergic to grass and it's hot out here. When I was a kid, this was not a walking campus. Even though you had to walk everywhere you went, but there were streets. Like, for instance, this street that we're on now. So there's the old agriculture building and the new one. This is the calf that we just showed you. Here are the plots. Just trying to give you an idea of where we are and what we're doing here. Yeah, this used to be the front of the calf. This used to be the front of the calf. I understand the food in there slamming. It smelled good while we were in there. But you used to be able to drive here, and then all where you see sidewalk, all of that was road. So you could drive there if you wanted to and park. They made all of this. They took away the highway, well, took away the road and did all of this. So now it became a walking campus. So let me do say that if you come to Del State, I realize that this is probably the most thorough of all the videos that will be on the website. And that's because of my history with it. My history is very, very rich. When I went to the summer programs, I often had a lot of free time in my hands. So you would see me in the library sitting in the stacks, and I would be looking at all the editions of Ebony and Essence and Jet, and I could just lose myself in the stacks for hours. Kind of like when you know when the street lights come on. I knew at 4:30 we were leaving. If you come to Delaware State, know that Delaware is very centrally located. We are the hub of the DMV. So you can come to Delaware, and which has 3 counties, 1 area code. You can go from the tip to tip in less than 2 hours. Dover is near Dover Air Force Base, which is how we got to this campus. I was born in Germany. My dad got orders after he got from Vietnam, and this is where we moved, and we've been here ever since. My sister was born here. So when I tell you that we are alumnus, we are alumnus. Cam is too, and so is his mother. His mother was in one of the first programs for the doctorate. So like I said, our history with Delaware State is rich, and I'm loving the changes that we're making. I'm going to give a shout out to Dr. Tony Allen. I was a little skeptical at first, but he has won me over.